Patch after patch, Thresh has one of the highest win rates on support, and I think the player base is okay with that because of how hard he is to consistently execute well. He is one of the best blind picks because of his versatility. A lot of that comes from his kit, but I also think Thresh's ability to flex his runes is also a big part. If you're into a double range bot lane, you should go Glacial, and if you're into an engaged support, you should go Aftershock. Hello guys, today's commentary is a Thresh commentary. I would say he is one of the strongest supports currently, but not a lot of people play him. He is one of the most versatile because all of his abilities can be used offensively or defensively. He's had a high win rate for a very long time, patch after patch recently, and I think that he is just very strong, but people don't play him because he is hard to play. I think that mechanically he is probably one of the hardest supports. I'd probably say like top 3, just because he has so much utility and you can get so creative with how you play out scenarios. And the thing is, because he has so many winouts with his kit, it just makes him have an answer to most situations that some supports don't. So starting with the draft, we had Jinx first pick. The enemy picked Azir Karma, so I just slammed Thresh here. Thresh is actually a really good blind, but he is very good into Karma. So if you're struggling against Karma, Karma struggles against hook champs, because her whole thing is looking for RQ angles in lane. But if she has a RQ angle, then a hook champ has a hook angle, and if you just hook her, she just kind of dies. I think this comp in particular, Thresh, is actually really, really good because I can cancel Samira ult, Gragas, Body Slam, Azir, Shuffle in with Flay. And just, I have a lot of setup with my team. I could combo hooks off of Malphite, Zerath, Riven, CC, Jinx CC. Yeah, this is just a really great draft for Thresh. So starting off the game, as always, when I play a hook champ, I will always go for an invade. The best way to invade is to go through top side here if you are blue side and hug this wall and then walk towards try, because this way it's hard for the enemy to see you because you're tucked into the corner. Always start sweeper if you are going for the invade, just so you can catch the ward on try if the enemy does leave it there. And then I think this route is the most, you'll catch most people if you go around, and because most people are just standing at this little entrance here. I recall a bit late. Generally, if you are invading, you want to recall at around 55 seconds, because if you recall any later, you actually don't get to walk with the minions here. It's really important to walk with the minions against Karma because she can just stand in third bush and then just kind of wait for you and just RQ you. Yeah, because I am late to this lane, I sort of like fake walking forward. You'll see me like juke back here to try to bait out something. So we actually get the Samira Q, but Karma is able to get a Q off. Jinx puts a ward down. Karma actually makes the mistake of standing in third bush, so I am able to get a hook. And because of that, I would say like our trade is pretty even. I want to push for level 2 here. If you're playing Thresh, you should always look to push level 2. It's a little hard though because I was further away. I recognize that they get level 2 first, so then I ping my AD carry off. And then I am able to catch Jinx here, and we are able to trade a little bit, and then we get level 2 right there off of the melee minion. So I am taking note that Malphite is clearing down. We hold the wave right in front of our tower here, so our wave is in a very good state for my jungler to go for a gank. It's Malphite jungle, so it's most likely not going to do it, but it's good to freeze it here just so you have a better position for the enemy. I went to go sweep try because I saw the enemy duck into vision, which means that they most likely were to try. And then we do see that Ambessa was on the top side here, so we know that we don't have to be afraid of getting ganked. I try to walk up. That's a little trick Thresh can do. Face one person and then go hook for the other person. Ignite here because I thought the traps were going to connect with the chompers, but it actually doesn't end up doing so, which was unfortunate. Malphite is going to go to Crab here. Jinx walks up to try, which doesn't really make sense because we know where Ambessa is, so there's no reason to like go this way, but Kind of an awkward position, but we still just want to try to push in this wave. I'm collecting souls, walk this wave in, and this is a really great time to reset because we got a wave in and Malphite's going back. Malphite is kind of... Recently he got buffed for the jungle, so you'll see a lot of Malphite picks, but I think like pre-6 he's just really useless. I decided to take a roam here because I know that I have a lot of time since we pushed out bot lane and then the wave is bouncing back towards us, so I know that I can go for a roam. I opt to go topside here because I see that there's stuff happening. I do note that there is a crab on topside, so that's why I changed my pathing up here. And I know that this is going to be just like a giant win out for us just because there's no way Karma could actually be here. We get a kill here. I flash on Gragas. I wait. I flash E, auto him, and then kind of I auto him just so I could wait to see if Gragas has flash or not. And then after he used flash, I throw out my hook, and I am able to get him there. So bot wave. I need to immediately run back because our wave is in a really bad spot. It's frozen right before our tower, so when I recall here, I don't walk mid, I just automatically walk bot. If you're Karma in this situation, you want to force a fight like this. But yeah, Samira should be playing up with Karma because otherwise it's like really illegal for Jinx to just walk up and push the wave here. So I think the roam I took was good, and it's a little dicey for Jinx to just be alone in this lane, but the enemy didn't punish accordingly, so it was like fine. One really important thing to know here, I flay Karma into traps, and then I actually W Jinx to try to separate her, but Samira eats my W with my W. Let's kind of review this fight. There's kind of a lot that happened this game, so after I am walking bot side here, right? And one really important thing is that when I'm walking bot side, I don't show myself on the wave. I dip into vision here and wait, because in doing so, the enemy has to guess if I could be anywhere on the map at this point, right? Because I came from top, but I recalled in out of vision. So now the enemy is not really sure where I could be. I could be mid, I could be bot, I could go top again. And it's really important I don't show myself, because if I do show myself, it relieves that pressure. But because I know this, I sit in middle bush, and Karma doesn't respect it, so then I am able to get the hook out, and then this play sort of plays out the way it does. Also, I didn't know, but I guess Samira W can W my lantern. So that's why I like walked back and stood back a little and was a little confused. Jinx is really low, so I originally wanted to push this wave, but I know I need to be a little careful. I have biscuits here that I don't want to use until I'm fighting like this. Biscuits are better to use when you're lower health because it heals a lot more. Mbessa is here. I'm eating my cookies. This wave will bounce back towards us. I'm just a little afraid of Mbessa, so I'm respecting it. Sitting in bot bush here. Hex Flash to scare Samira. And I know that Karma's most likely going to be here now. Yeah, so then just trying to... It's really bad for Jinx to recall on this wave because we will lose a lot. So we can actually stay here. As long as, like, since I know Mbessa's not 6, we're, like, kind of chilling. If Jinx just plays it safe, then we should be okay. I actually go for hook there because I know that Karma W2 is going to proc the damage, and I was hoping that I could drag her into the turret as it happens, so it gets aggroed. I ping Jinx to stay because Samira's staying, and Mbessa's most likely resetting or clearing her jungle just because it's been a very long time. And then this would be like the ideal wave to recall because it's cannon wave. So I'm kind of waiting here. I saw that Xerath was going for a gank, and then she ends up getting flanked in the river, so I W, and then we turn this. Jinx gets a really nice ult onto Samira, and just like that, we kind of flip the gank. So that's kind of like why Thresh is so good. Like, use my lantern to pull Zora to safety, and then we just kind of turn it. Looking for dragon here now. Really important when you're taking objectives. Make sure to auto the dragon. I think that like a lot of supports tend to just like. I noticed this with like enchanters. I feel like enchanters tend to like not auto the objective, but your autos actually do a lot of damage. So yeah, just make sure to hit it so you can do it faster, and so you'll have better tempo on the map. I opt to go for Boots of Swiftness on this first back, and then I was originally going to go Kindle Gem first, but I decided to go a Ruby Crystal and a Cloth Armor. I think that Kindle Gem is like okay. You get like 50 health and I think like 5 ability haste, and ability haste is not that great early. So I'd rather get a cloth just so I can tank more. Here I lantern myself to shield, and then I Q to red buff because I know it's up so I can dip out and I don't have to use flash. I high key should have saved my W for Zorath. That's completely my fault. Using shield on yourself is good. I find that I actually like save myself a lot, but yeah, in that situation I definitely should have saved it for Zorath. Their bot lane rotates mid, so I want to look for Azir. I'm assuming that they're most likely going to go for grubs here, so I want to force something because I know this is a 2v1. I'm waiting for an opportunity. I'm hiding here. I'm waiting for an opportunity to Azir to walk up a bit more. And so I find it here. Flash Flay. A little sloppy on my end getting hit by the turret. I W myself and I almost live if I flashed outside. So tragic that I lose 1 HP, by the way. If I flashed just outside of turret range, I definitely would have lived there, but yeah, it was very close. But it's what's important there is that I recognize that their bot lane was going to go to grubs, and so that Azir was going to be left alone bottom. And instead of me rotating late to grubs, I sack the play and opt to go for Azir. It like doesn't work out, but that is the correct scenario for this rotation. So I end up going to grubs outside of base because I'm assuming Jinx is going to recall here. And so if Jinx recalled, then I was just going to be like, I'd have to go mid here, but I just opted to go for grubs just in case the enemy doesn't rotate back. So after we get grubs, I am making my way down, get a nice ward on the mid wave. That ward is really nice because you're able to see the rotation of the enemy. Very important to do so without the enemy having vision. Jinx gets the kill, so I walk back mid. I know Samira's going to face check this. I go for a Hex Flash over the wall. Just barely miss the Samira, but we are able to kill her there. So perfect. I am looking to recall here, even though I have 350 gold, just because my support item, I'm out of wards, and there's really nothing on the map for me to do. I mean, I could hover mid here, but I'd rather just use the time. It's important to recall when you don't have wards, because even if like a play happens mid, it's not as great because you just don't have wards, so you can't like go in deeper and just like yeah, like take position on the map. So I'm doing the little ward, the vision trick again, where I'm not showing myself. I take note that Samira and Karma are mid. Still hiding myself here. One thing is that souls will show up, right? But if you're in a bush and the enemy doesn't see it, then it won't show up for the enemy. So I want to go for a Hex Flash here. I know that we have 3 grubs, so this is also another really important thing to think about. Okay, I miss hook here, but like I miss hook here and Jinx spam pings me, but like honestly, Azir walks into the traps and it's like I did not expect him to be that bad, so it's like honestly not my bad. Like, what? Look at this. Like, what? Like, I thought he was gonna step back for sure, but he walks forward into the trap. But anyways, as I was saying, it's important to note when you have 3 grubs, like, playing for first tower is, like, something that you should be thinking about. I think there, Jinx should have been hitting the tower rather than hitting Azir because we take the tower super fast. Like, we have 3 grubs and we're duo bot lane. And that would be the first tower to fall, and feats are OP, so I think that was an error on Jinx's fault. But yeah, it's fine. So Jinx is really low. We are able to push out bot lane. I enter the river here and look for fruits. I have 3 wards, so I don't want to back, even though I have 700 gold. I control ward this area. I get a hook off. Malphite's here. I'm playing a little reserved. Because I don't have flash. I know that the enemy is rotating. I'm playing it really slow. Get a very nice Q onto Azir. And this is really important. I had my Flay that entire time, but I made sure to save it to chain the CC combo. Because I think Azir, if he had any time out of that CC chain, he would have just immediately ulted. So that's also another really important thing when you're playing Thresh, to make sure you are stacking your CC and not just like throwing it out automatically. Here I recognize that we want to kill Samira. We can just go for the tower first. Again, Malphite ults. I throw my Q out so it would hit right as his ult CC landed. This is kind of like a knowledge check. It's, yeah, if you know, you need to know like how long the CC is for your teammates to kind of do that, and also the wind up time it takes for Thresh to throw a hook. But it's a very important thing to aspect to playing Thresh. So after we kill bot, we can walk into the enemy jungle now. I have a pretty deep ward. This is like one of the best wards you can have when you are on blue side. I see that Azir is alone here, and I want to go. He puts up his turret, but there's a little time where you can go before it starts attacking. I get the craziest juke of all time. Honestly, I surprised myself so much, I just didn't use flash or Q. Someone has to check my computer, because watch this. We're going to watch the replay. Azir, I was pretty tunneled here, but yeah, the tower is still activating, but look at that juke. I'm crazy. Someone check my computer. I die. I was like, okay, my bad. I could have flashed, I could have Q'd, but I was just like, yeah, I typed it out. I might be scripting because, like, wow, that was actually insane. We get double killed bot. Play was bad, but like I said, intention was correct, or like the logic of wanting to engage there was correct. I think that if I just played it better, then we definitely could have gotten a double kill. So after I die, I upgrade to Locket, and then I go Swift March. So I think if you're, I think if you have the opportunity to upgrade tier 3 shoes, you should just always do it, because tier 3 shoes are broken. I get a really bad hook here. I throw out Lantern for Malphite. I use Flay into ult. Get a nice hook onto Ambessa. I wait last second to grab her, or to Q2. I have flash here. Very unfortunate, I flash right as Gragas body slams. I get my Q on Gragas, but I was trying to go for Samira, but it ends up working out. So Jinx is here to clean this up. Sarath is able to get a nice stun after he dies, and then Jinx can't go for Gragas because he is under tower. So now I can pretty much go for anything here, because there's no objective that's up. Dragon's up in 220 soon. Herald is up. I think that was Herald. So yeah, Baron is up in 8 minutes. So I can pretty much go anywhere. I'm just kind of walking with Riven here because that's really the only play on the map. I didn't go top here because I knew Jinx was most likely going to reset right after. I'm warding the cross here. Riven just jumps on Ambessa and we get a kill. I see that someone's porting in. I want to ward the same area, but it's not good to ward if the enemy is able to see it. So I ward this little bush here. Trying to look for Azir, but Karma sees, so then he sidesteps. And so I am really... I want to play this cross really hard because if we lock down this area, it's very hard for the enemy to rotate in this area. And then once we kind of zone them out of a quadrant, it's just they just fall more and more behind. We have a lot of their camps are up. Azir tries to rotate, but we just have too much vision on them. Samira goes on Jinx here. I throw out my lantern, but Jinx flashes out. Unfortunate. Jinx just ends up dying. She needed to just... If she just used my lantern, it would have been fine, but it's fine. So this is a 4v4. It's a little dicey, but I know our team is really strong, so... Ribbon just is able to do that, and then we are just chilling. At this point, we're just already so strong that we don't really need Jinx. I mess up here. I do something here that's really bad. I forget what. Oh, okay, so here I'm looking bot. It's really good to use the Herald charge on bot, and then I pan my camera bot to see like, oh, is the do I need to throw out? Do I need to crash Herald bot, or will we be able to take it? And then right as I pan my camera, I just like crashed the wall, so that was my bad. But important concept. You want to break Herald on tier 2 towers. Like, it's so much better to break Herald on the tier 2 tower bot than for me to get the inhib tower, because you just get so much more gold. And yeah, that gold spike is just like insane. You just become so much stronger. So I know that dragon's up. We have really good vision around the area. I'm waiting for Karma to rotate because I think a lot of supports here feel pressured to walk in. But Karma's actually really smart here and doesn't walk in. She gives up the dragon, so then I want to look for something, but don't really have a lot of wards, and I can't just walk at her. Xerath pops ult. We are able to see some of them because of the Horizon focus, and then Jinx gets a really nasty ult. That was like insane that we kill Karma there. Jinx makes the mistake of face checking, and then yeah, I end up just dying. I should have just left Jinx. I didn't have any wards for red, and so yeah, she just face checks it, and then it kind of falls apart. But it's fine. My team is strong, and they clean up our mess here. Yeah, Malphite can't kill Gragas, so we after we reset, I am looking to go bot side for Otacon. I think the mid-late macro gets really easy because you're kind of just like starting mid if you don't have the push, and then you go rotate to the side where there are objectives. Taking the Hex Gates here to speed up just traversing the map. We have really good wards here. Yeah, just get this ward. Again, this ward is just so great because you are able to see a lot of rotations through the jungle. Don't really... Malphite is kind of soloing this Otacon. He doesn't have the damage, but yeah, Riven is just so strong that Riven and Xerath are just like 2v4ing, and he's not even here. I throw out my lantern for Riven in case she's in too deep. Good W by Samira to eat the Jinx rocket. I'm warding around this area just so like once you have wards in this deep, it's just you're just splitting the enemy apart so hard, and I can look for... I thought that play was gonna land, so I ulted, but it missed. It's fine though. Yeah, once you have like deep wards in their base, it's like so hard for the enemy to rotate and defend their base. I'm walking out, collecting souls. When you're playing Thresh, it's important to get those souls. I Thought I could flay Gragas on his E there, but he flashes on me. And then we kind of just clean them up here. Yeah, and then we just kind of push forward, and then the game just already ends. So that's it for this Thresh commentary. Thank you so much for watching. I think that more people should play Thresh. I think that he's OP. He's just really hard to play, but I don't think there's like a